So very good evening class. Today is the class of MCQ class number 33 of the UGC-NET paper 2 Mass Communication and Journalism. Here we will discuss the first question, that is questions number 257 in the today's class. Socially and culturally least powerful people are dash by mass media. Everybody. So options are supplemented, B counseled, C de-recognized and D स्टीरियोटाइप्ड। क्या बात है, बहुत ही सुंदर। चलिए, बिना ऑप्शंस का कॉन्सेप्चुअल बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस का आंसर करना, इसका मतलब है बहुत ही अच्छे से आपने समझा है चीजों को, राइट, वेरी गुड। जिन मीडिया लिटरेसी नहीं है, लाइक इन द रूरल एरियाज, मास मीडिया से जो इंफॉर्मेशन उन्हें मिलता है, जैसा कि आपने इलेक्शंस के दौरान आपने देखते होंगे, सोशल मीडिया हो या फिर आपका टेलीविजन हो या फिर न्यूज़पेपर हो, ठीक है, जो लोगों तक इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंचती है, लेस पावरफुल पीपल हैं। जो लेस पावरफुल पीपल कौन होंगे? जो मीडिया लिटरेसी उनके पास नहीं है, वो मीडिया को क्रिटिकली डिस्क्राइब नहीं कर सकते हैं, राइट, क्रिटिकली एनालाइज नहीं कर सकते, सो दैट दे आर सोशली एंड कल्चरली द लेस पावरफुल पीपल आर स्टीरियोटाइप्ड by the mass media. So here we will read the explanations so we can understand better and we can derive some of the important questions from the explanations also. So stereotype people are used by the mass media in the social environments to represent the opinions to the members of a certain group about the others group, right? This is what about the opinion of certain group about the others group. This is what the about in the social environment and the cultural environment it happens. So mass communication influences that we know that influences both society and the culture. Different societies have different media systems, and the way they are set up by the law influences how the society works. Different forms of communication, including the messages in the mass media, give shape and structure to the society. So this is what about the power of the media, right? So socially and culturally least powerful people are stereotyped by the mass media, right? चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। Question number 258. The possible harmful effects of mediated communication always lead to. Everybody, mediated communication, that the communication which helps to communicate with the relations to ICT. Everybody, जल्दी से बताएंगे। The possible harmful effects of mediated communication always lead to production glut, B ad attention, economic concern, D moral panics. Everybody answer, very important questions. You can use your brain or you can relate the options with the questions. Very wonderful, बहुत ही सुंदर, बहुत ही. So the possible harmful effects of mediated communication always lead to the moral panics. Very good, absolutely. So harmful effects, panics, ठीक है, थोड़ा सा भी relate कीजिएगा, ठीक है. And the second, that is about that moral panics are what type of panic? So see here, you will read in the explanations that what about the harmful effects of mediated communication which lead to the moral panics. Okay. So mediated communication that we know, or mediated interaction, that refers to the communication carried out by the use of ICT and can be contrasted to the face-to-face communications, right? So mediated communication leads to the moral panics most of the time due to the situation where public fears and the state involvement exceed the objective threat posed to the society. It can be because of the particular group that is responsible for the conditions, right? So this is what about the mediated communication, that are situations, right? It's due to the situations the moral panic occur, because where the people or the public fears or state involvement exceed the objective threats to posed to the society. This is what about the harmful effects of the mediated communication that leads to the moral panics. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। Question number 259. When media is connected with reality, the type of framing becomes, everybody, आपने पढ़ा है the frame of analytical, critical, referential, and D, methodological. Everybody. When media is connected with reality. Time is out. Yes. So answer it referential. Very good. Absolutely. Wonderful answer. सभी लोगों ने अब तक सवाल में सभी आंसर का सही जवाब सभी लोगों ने दिया है. बहुत ही सुंदर. So this is what about that I was expecting from you all. Okay. So media is connected with reality. That type of framing that we know, the frame of reference. Okay. So the referential, it becomes referential when media is connected with reality. So framing is visible in many media applications. Framing is referential only when it has the reality, such as in the mass media communication. A frame defines the packaging of an element of rhetoric in such a way as to encourage certain interpretations and to discourage others, right? न्यूज़पेपर के अंदर भी और या फिर टेलीविजन के अंदर किसी भी स्टोरी को आप किस तरीके से फ्रेम करते हो एंड व्हाट द रेफरेंस यू केप्ट इन दैट व्हाइल फ्रेमिंग द स्टोरी, दिस इज व्हाट अबाउट द फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंसेस, राइट? कैसे आप मीडिया जो है रियलिटी से अवगत करा रही है. स्टोरी की जो रियलिटी होती है, स्टोरी हैज टू पर्सपेक्टिव, राइट? वेदर इट इज रियलिटी और वेदर इट इज मैनिपुलेशंस, राइट? मैनिपुलेशंस ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशंस. ओके, टू पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ द स्टोरी, राइट? सो व्हेन अ स्टोरी, आप किस तरीके, अगर आपने स्टोरी को मोल्ड कैसे किया है, दैट इज व्हाट यू आर इनकरेजिंग सर्टेन इंटरप्रिटेशन एंड डिस्करेजिंग अदर्स. अगर आप कुछ सर्टेन इंटरप्रिटेशंस को आप इनकरेज कर रहे हो तो सिमिलरली दैट इन द अदर वे यू आर डिस्करेजिंग द अदर्स. ठीक है. सो दिस इज व्हाट अबाउट दैट व्हेन मीडिया इज कनेक्टेड विथ रियलिटी और द स्टोरी, राइट, द टाइप ऑफ फ्रेमिंग बिकम्स द रेफरेंशियल, द रेफरेंस दैट यू what the audience will relate with it, or either experiences or either cultural values, right, or either beliefs. So what type of the references they use to understand the meaning of the media or understanding the meaning of the messages. So this is what about the frame of references. Okay, it is all clear everybody? जल्दी से बताएंगे. Yes, very good. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Question number 260. The media audiences are capable of. The media audiences are capable of. Options are passive notion, B, negative acceptance, D, inadvertence, D, critical distance. Focus it more, right? The media audiences are capable of. अब आजकल मीडिया की जो ऑडियंस है, I am just giving you the hint if you are not able to answer it, right? So just थोड़ा सा हिंट लेने की कोशिश करेंगे, right? So I am just telling you, interpreting about the questions. So media's audience is now not now a fool नहीं है, अब तेज हो गई है मीडिया की ऑडियंस and they are now capable of. Yes, that is criticize. उनके पास choice है, right? What they want to listen, what they want to watch, what they want to read. क्या पढ़ना चाहते हैं, क्या सुनना चाहते हैं, क्या देखना चाहते हैं, अब उनके पास choice है. The media audiences are capable of critical distance, right? Very good. So this is what about the D answer it is. ठीक है, D जो है आपका आंसर है critical distance. So one who studies media literacy also learn to develop a critical distance, right, from what they receive through the media. This is how they make independent choices about what to read or watch, read or listen to. It is clearly understood everybody? जल्दी से बताएंगे, सभी को समझ में आया? बहुत ही सिंपल क्वेश्चंस है. ओके, चलिए, वेरी गुड किरोवा. चलिए, वेरी गुड अभिषेक. So next question है, the simology uses a microscopic views of text to dash them. Everybody, simology, the sign and symbols. right? The sign and symbols uses a microscopic views of text to what? Construct, deconstruct, C, expand, D, shorten. Everybody. Symology uses a microscopic views of text to those who are not able to answer. I'm just giving you the hint, right? मैं आपको hint दे रहा हूँ, right? I'm just interpreting the questions here. Symology uses a microscopic view of text to dash them. It means that you know the icons, ठीक है? Icons को आपको पता है that what is the that is आप किसी भी टेक्स्ट को आप उसको शॉर्ट करते हो, छोटे छोटे टुकड़ों में बांटते हो, राइट? दिस इज व्हाट अबाउट द deconstructions, right? It is about the deconstruction of text, that is give the concept given by the everybody, that concept given by the Jacques Derrida. Okay, that is deconstruction of text. So Jacques Derrida, who coined the term deconstructions, right? This is deconstruction, that is in it argues in the Western culture that people tend to think and express their thoughts in terms of the binary oppositions, right? दो तरीके से, like or dislike, either white or black, masculine or feminine, cause or effect, conscious or unconscious, presence or absence, right? This is what that generally the Jacques Derrida argues with this term, and he argues that the people tend to think and express their thoughts in terms of the binary oppositions. So this is what about the text is divided. Text is that deconstruction means parts, right? Deconstruction, that becomes the text become various parts to understand the microscopic view of the text, that is to understand the meaning of the text. So this is what about the symology. If I say that for an example, अगर मैं आपको एक इमेज बनाऊं, राइट? सो दिस इज नॉट लाइक, सो दिस इज व्हाट द फ्रूट यू लुक, जल्दी से बताएंगे. दिस इज, if I say the name of the fruit it which seems as everybody, that is apple, right? So this is the image to text. This is your image, right? आपने इमेज से इसको इंटरप्रेट किया. दिस इज व्हाट द टेक्स्ट इट इज, राइट? इन अनदर question that we will learn to that how the image to text, the image relation with the image to text, what is called image और text का relation क्या कहा जाता है, that we will also learn in the upcoming questions that we have also included here. So this is what the icons, right? This is the signs or the symbols, right? The symology is the study of signs, how they work, how we use them, right? So we note again that almost anything can signify something of someone. ठीक है, ये क्या signify कर रहा है? The fruits, right? The fruit it is here the signifying. So Friedrich de Saussure developed the principle of symology as they apply to the language, and Barthes, right? The Barthes ne extended these ideas to masses, the word and image relations, right? So word and image relations of the all sorts. French philosopher Jacques Derrida best known for developing a form of semiotic analysis known as deconstruction. So आपको तीन ऑथर है यहाँ पर जो आपको याद रखना है. पहला Saussure, second that is Barthes, third that is Derrida. Okay, so Derrida को आप याद रखेंगे कैसे? Deconstruction of text, right? Deconstruction of text, where he argues that people tend to think and express their thoughts in terms of the binary oppositions, right? So this is what about the microscopic view of the text to deconstruct the text, right? चलिए, so ये आपका Derrida का. Saussure that given the term or defined the study of signs that we called as symology. इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? Symology. Okay. Barthes, anybody can tell about the Barthes? That Barthes extended these ideas to masses right? The word and image relations, that is, yes, absolutely, very good. That is known as anchorage and relay. Very good, anchorage and relay. So question anchorage and relay से questions भी है in upcoming questions that you will come to know, right? Very important. So बाल्टिस ने anchorage and relay को और सारी चीज को देखेंगे. This all term is related with the text or images. This all the authors that they had studied, right? Yes, चार्ल्स सैंडर्स पेयर्स ने भी दिया है, ठीक है. चलिए, so ये आप देखेंगे here that you will study that we are talking about the Saussure, Barthes and Derrida, the simiology, anchorage and relay, and the deconstruction of text. That is all related with the text and images, right? The concept of the text, the relation between text and images, how the text is deconstructed, what the relations between the text and images. This is all about the concept that they had studied in the linguistics, right? Basically, they focused on the simiology, the text linguistics. So this is what about the understanding. So do not get confused. Derrida, D for Derrida, D for deconstructions. Remember it, right? So Barthes, Roland Barthes ने anchorage and relay को दिया है, and Saussure that the study that simiology. Okay, the study of signs and symbols. Okay, clear है everybody? It is clear? Yes, very good. Next, Raymond Williams identified the general process of the meaning productions in relations to. Raymond Williams, okay? Raymond Williams mostly they studied on the culture, okay? So Raymond Williams identified the general process of the meaning production in relations to ideology, publicity, advertising, and public relation. Everybody. Answer it fast. Today we observe in the class that सभी लोगों ने इस तरीके के क्वेश्चन को सही आंसर दिया है, right? Everybody has given the right answer, right? So this is what is happening. आप लोग ज्यादातर जो ईयर्स वाला जैसे रेडियो के रिलेटेड या फिर न्यूज़पेपर से रिलेटेड या फाउंडर्स से रिलेटेड इस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं. Generally you do mistakes, but the conceptual related question that you आप करेक्ट उससे करते हो, right? So this is what that we have observed in the today's class. Very happy. चलिए. So Raymond Williams identified the general process of the meaning production in relations to ideology. Very good. Right? So Raymond Williams gave 3 meanings in the relation to ideology. Okay? 3 meanings in relations to ideology. The one is the general process of the meaning productions, right? The general process of the meaning productions that has given rise to the oppositions between the class-based knowledge, right? That is illusory and supposedly scientific knowledge of the human activity and the practice that is objective and true. Okay. So अगर बात करें Raymond Williams की, so mostly define the concepts of the culture, okay, which breaks down in the terms of, yes, cultural materialism. So cultural that define that these terms into the 3 general categories, that is ideal first, second that is documentary, cultural in the perspective, right? That he breaks down the term into the 3 general categories of the culture. That is cultural would be ideal, culture would be documentary, and third that is cultural social. Okay, so these 3 things that you have to remember according to the Raymond Williams, right? The culture is ideal, the culture is documentary, the culture is social. Okay, so he most important piece of the writing that is very much important here, that still it is famous in the today's 21st century, which was written in the 1958, that is culture is ordinary, right? cultural is ordinary, which was published in the year 1958, which still it is very much famous, and it is being read in today's. So this is what important that you have to highlight this. Okay, so they can ask you in the match of the following questions. Cultural is ordinary, the concept, the published, which was published by the Raymond Williams. Okay, so ये आपको ध्यान रखना है that general process of the meaning productions in relations to ideology, right? It is clear, everybody? Okay, so next questions. When certain words are used to reinforce the encoder's intended meaning, it is described as. When certain words are used to reinforce the encoder's intended meaning, it is described as. Everybody. Options are support line, B, image caption, C, relational indicator, and D, anchorage. Everybody. When certain words are used to reinforce the encoder's intended meaning, it is described as. Very important. चलिए, बहुत ही सुंदर. So this is what that we were discussing in the previous questions. Okay, very good. So here the right answer it is anchorage. So when certain words are used to reinforce the encoder's intended meaning, the best example here to understand it is that is example है जो है वो caption. Okay, जो image caption photo caption होता है आपका, right? The photo captions that the certain words used to reinforce the encoder's intended meaning, that what type of photograph they used and what the relations to their story, right? The image and text. So this is what the photo caption, the best example to understand the anchorage. Okay, so Roland Barthes identified the concept of anchorage where elements in a text such as caption were termed as anchor. ठीक है, were termed as anchor. So they can ask you the questions here, right? Who identified the concept of anchorage, right? So this will not be who identified the concept of anchorage where elements in a text such as caption were termed as anchorage. So what will be the answer? Everybody, Roland Barthes, right? Very good. उसका आंसर क्या होगा? Roland Barthes identified the concept of anchorage where elements in a text such as caption were termed as anchor. So a function whereby the linguistic elements in a text such as caption constant the preferred reading of an image, right? Preferred reading of an image, that we know that we discussed that image और text का जो relations है यही आपका क्या है? Image or text, that relations between image and text, that is anchorage. Okay, so Roland Barthes suggested that visual media were characterized by the two contradictory process. One is anchorage, which was designed to link an image to the written word. Link an image to the written word, that is what anchorage. Okay, that is what the encoder's intended meaning about the images or text. So and a relay, the aim of which was link successive image to the one another. So this is what about the आपका relay. Okay, so anchorage and relay जो है, that is very much wonderful concept that given by the Roland Barthes. ठीक है, जो हम बेस्ट एग्जांपल समझ सकते हैं कॉमिक बुक, राइट? कॉमिक बुक में हमारा इस तरीके से रहता है दैट यू सी द आपका इस तरीके से बबल्स बना रहता है, राइट? एंड टेक्स्ट हियर इट इज रिटन, राइट? टेक्स्ट इट इज एंड इमेजेस बनी हुई होती है. ओके, सो दैट यू रिलेट विद द इमेजेस एंड टेक्स्ट, दैट इज व्हाट अबाउट द एंकरेज. ओके, इट इज ऑल क्लियर एवरीबॉडी? एनी कंफ्यूजन इन दिस क्वेश्चन? No, there should not be, because here it is important question that we discussed. Okay, chaliye. So this is what that we to discuss in today's class. बहुत ही important questions जो हमने discuss किया और concept से. So let's talk about the summarizations here. Everybody, that what we learned today's कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्वेश्चंस को हम ज्यादा कवर नहीं करेंगे बिकॉज इट में कंफ्यूज, जल्दी से बताएंगे. सो दैट वी डिस्कस anchorage and relay by the Roland Barthes. Okay, very much important concept. Okay, number 2, media audience, yes, are capable of critical distance. Okay, very good. Media audience are capable of critical distance. चलिए नेक्स्ट बताएंगे एवरीबॉडी. स्टीरियोटाइप में ऑडियंस, राइट, वेरी गुड. स्टीरियोटाइप ऑडियंस, दैट व्हाट वाज द क्वेश्चंस एवरीबॉडी. जस्ट लिखिए क्वेश्चन, थोड़ा सा पार्ट्स लिखेंगे एवरीबॉडी. स्टीरियोटाइप ऑडियंस, दैट इज yes, socially and culturally less powerful people are stereotyped by the mass media. Very good. Socially and culturally less powerful. Okay. Next, that is very much important, deconstruction of text. Deconstruction of text, that is by the Jacques Derrida, right? Yes, very good. Jacques Derrida. Yes, very good. Or number 5th, yes, Raymond Williams. Raymond Williams ने, that is ideology, right? Very good. That given the 3 concept, right, in terms of the culture, वो 3 क्या क्या थे everybody? Culture का, that culture is a ideal, or everybody documentary, very good. And third, that is social. Okay, that by the Raymond Williams, right? Very good, बहुत ही सुंदर. So that you have to remember, when media is connected with reality, that type of framing becomes referential. Very good. Frame of reference. Okay, that was the concept which was very much important to discuss, right? Yes, media connected with reality. Okay, so yes, also discussed about the, yes, moral panics. Yes, very good. Yes, we discussed media audience as a capable of critical audience. Very good. So moral panics को भी लेकर हमने discuss किया. Okay, yes, mediated communication also, that was very much important concept, mediated communications. Okay, where which ICT becomes, or mediate role the play of between the communications. Okay, chaliye, harmful effects of mediated communications that leads to the moral panics. Very good, very good. Harmful effects of mediated communications that leads to the moral panic. ये आपको ध्यान रखना है, ये सारी इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं. ओके, वेरी गुड, बहुत ही सुंदर. सो दैट वी डिस्कस टुडेज इन द today's class.